What is going on, gamers? It's your boy Grandpa Casual, and today we are going to be facing Gluttonous Monstrosity, aka Hongliu, and we're going to be breaking this boss down frame by frame, move by move, so that you're able to beat this boss much faster and much quicker. And if you happen to be into WuChang Fallen Feathers, I am your guy. If you need tips, tricks, guides, and everything like that, consider liking and subscribing. Outside of that, let's get into the gameplay. So before we do anything, I like to get into the approach to the boss. Every game that you play, every Souls game that you play, each boss has an approach and they have tells that they will give you to let you know what's going to happen. Now, the approach to this boss is quite simple. It's quite straightforward. Now, if you look at the cutscene, obviously it looks scary. It looks very intimidating. The point of this is it wants you to be scared. They want you to act on human nature here and be scared. And what's the first action when you're scared and you're playing against something like this that you've never played against before? What are you going to do? You're going to back up. You're going to dodge backwards. You're going to try to reel backwards. You're going to backpedal to get away from this boss. But the approach to this boss is much different. See, what you have to do here is you actually have to do the opposite of that. So when you approach this boss, instead of backing away, you're actually moving forward into the fight. And there's a couple reasons for this. One being that this boss right here, you have to get in there to really attack this boss and land hits. You can't really sit on the outside. Yes, you can nick away at the foot or at the leg, but sometimes you got to get in there to get enough damage to make sense. You don't want to sit there fighting the boss for 3 hours, right? You want to fight the boss for 3 minutes. I think this boss took me about 3 minutes once I learned all the attack patterns, and I'm sure it's less than 4 minutes because Xbox only allows 4-minute recordings. So it had to be less than 4 minutes for me to beat this boss. So you really have to get in there, do some damage, and know when to get in, when to get out, and what the tells are. So let's go through it. Okay, so this move right here, we're going to start with this one. Now, this move right here, this spray thing that she's doing, actually does corruption damage to you. And if your corruption gets full, you'll start to lose health over time until the corruption is gone. We don't want that. So what I did here is I chose items out of my gear set that heavily negated corruption. Yes, there's slash, yes, there's blunt damage, but the corruption is something that will really catch you. So I made sure my gear had heavy corruption resistance. And if we continue here, I'm actually able to dodge right through that corruption beam and take 0 damage. So don't run from the beam, dodge through it. Okay, let's look at this move one more time. So this one is meant to distract you. So you have to pay very close attention to this move here. So if you look here, right, this corruption beam that she's shooting in the air does absolutely no damage. So you don't have to pay attention to that. It does no corruption. It does no damage to you. It's really meant to distract you from what comes next. So when you see this, you're not really paying attention to the beam. You're actually paying attention to her and what she's about to do. So as you can see, right after that beam, she comes down very quickly. So you're not timing. So you're not paying attention to the beam itself. You're paying attention to her about to come down and strike you. So let's look at that one more time. Beam goes up. You're not paying attention to the beam. When the hand comes down, so you're looking at the left hand here. When the hand gets ready to come down, that's when you dodge. Let's look at that one more time. It's a very quick attack, so you have to really get your timing together, but you have to pay attention to that hand. When that hand is getting ready to come down, you need to get out of there. This is one that kind of frustrated me a lot as well. And it's this attack that's similar to the first one, but not quite the same. Let's look at this. So it's 3 attacks, and it's much slower than the first one. So it kind of throws you off a little bit. When you look at that first attack right after the beam, it's very fast. It's a 1-2. This one is like a 1, a 2, and a 3. So you have to kind of adjust your timing from these 2 attacks. You can't dodge just the same way that you dodged the first attack. The attack for this one is much slower, so you have to dodge this one a little bit slower. One thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to back up from this attack. That's where this boss flourishes. If you're backing up, if you're on your heels, she got you. So what you want to do is you want to go to the side and go around this boss when she's doing this attack. I typically go to the right, and I keep going right. And eventually when you get behind her, that's her weak spot. You really want to try to get behind this boss as much as you can, because that's where she's really open, and that's where you can do more damage and have freedom to not get hit by stuff. But you still got to be careful. So let's look at this attack one more time. So this attack really comes out of nowhere. You have to really be paying attention because the wind up for it is really short, and you really have to be looking at the head of this enemy to really make sense of this, especially if you're in front of this enemy. Me personally, I stay to the side. I try to get behind this enemy as much as I can because this has a very short wind up. Now, if you look at the head here, right, the head goes back just a slight bit, And you know that there's a pause and then it goes up just a slight bit. Right when the head goes up, you need to be getting out of there because this has a wide range. And once you're caught once, it's kind of hard to get out. So I always move into the side of that. Let's look at that one more time. This slash attack is pretty straightforward. As soon as the arm goes up, there's a short pause, and you slash as soon as it get ready to come down. Let's look at that again. Arm goes up, short pause, and you dash as soon as it get ready to come down. You can get away from this entirely and dash early, but at the same time, you won't get the dash power up that you get for your weapons if you do dash early. You got to do a perfect dash to get that. And you want the power ups, right? Because you want to beat the boss faster. You want to get through it. You don't want to be chipping away forever, right? So you want the power ups for your weapons every single time you could get it. And this is quite frankly an easy way to get it. So let's look at it one more time. All right, this attack is kind of tricky, but not too bad. So this attack has 2 slashes and then 1 wind up slash. The 2 slashes that she does, they aren't too bad, but this wind up slash, you have to pay very close attention because this one tracks you. So it doesn't matter what side you are of the boss. When she does this third attack, if you turn around the boss is going to turn with you. So no matter where you go, you're going to get hit if you stay there. So you have to really try to time the arm coming down here. So let's look at this one more time. So you got 1, 2. You have to really time the arm coming down. What I like to pay attention to is this upper arm torso area right here. When I see it about to come down, that's when I'm ready to move. And I typically land the perfect dash every single time when I'm paying attention to that. I'm not necessarily paying attention to the hands and stuff like that, but really this area of the shoulder and top body is where I'm looking at, because when that's getting ready to come down, it gives me the sign that's like, okay, I got to get out of here. This is a really simple one. She does 2 smashes on the ground and then jumps after. It's not really too difficult in my opinion. The biggest thing to take away from this move right here is what I said earlier. You're not moving backwards. I know the boss makes you want to move backwards, but this has a wide area of effect and the boss might still catch you. So you can see here, as this boss is coming at me, I'm dashing towards the boss to get out of that area of effect and end up behind her so I can get some attacks in. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to be backpedaling because you'll get hit more, especially when you get to the second phase of this boss. This is another move to be very careful of. When she slams down, right, her 2 hands down, you might think that she's done and you want to get in there and do some damage. And you can, but you have to be very careful here because when she comes back with her hands to slice backwards, let's look at this one more time. So she slams both her hands down, right? When she comes back right here and drags her hands back, if you're in that area, you're still going to get hit. You're still going to take damage. So if you want to get a slice in, if you feel brave, yeah, do it. But be mindful that when she brings her hands back, that she's going to hit you if you're still in that area. That's one. Second, this attack comes before another attack that automatically grabs you. So you got to be very careful. And there's a sound that you can listen for to know when this attack is coming. So let's look at this one more time. I don't know how to describe the sound, but if you listen to this sound right here, this means that she's about to do this jump attack that comes and grabs you. And when she grabs you, she does significant damage, especially at the amount of health that I had. She probably would have killed me. But one thing that you don't want to do, and I think if there's anything that you take from this boss and you take anything from this tutorial, you don't want to go backwards. This is another good move that we should pay attention to. This like dash slash thing. It's pretty straightforward, but again, you know, just like I said with this boss over and over again, you want to go forward, right? And what you're looking for is the hands go up in an X, right? The hands go up in an X, there's a pause, and when the hands get ready to come down, they go up, they come together as an X, and when they get ready to come down, you're dashing, but you're not dashing backwards, you're dashing forwards. If you dash backwards, you're likely going to get hit, especially if you're in range. You might not get hit if you're not in range, but you want to dash forward and past this boss, and you'll dash right through. It's like you phase right through this attack. Let's look at this one more time. All right, this is a very important part. I chipped away at this boss pretty extensively until I got her to almost half health. Now, this is a very important part because you can actually do some great damage here and you can really take advantage of this part of the boss. This is what I call the second stage of the boss. And let's see what happens here. So she gets in the points where she's staggered and she's like staggering around. She does 2 attacks that you can dodge easily. But really, you want to get behind the boss at this point. Now, let's look at this one more time. Now, when she does this scream here, right, the scream can actually disable you, and you have to press B over and over and over so that you can get out of it and then you get free. But if you dodge at the perfect time, now this takes very good timing, but if you dodge at the perfect time, you're actually able to dodge out of this and not take any damage. And from there, you can start wailing on her while she does the scream thing and she's spitting out all of the corruption and stuff like that. She does turn, so you have to try to stay behind her. And also, you can't get too greedy here. If you sit here, you get greedy, you have to be very careful because when she comes down after this attack, she actually can damage you. And then when she comes back up after this attack, she can damage you again. So you want to get about 3 or 4 hits in, and then you want to back away. So let's take a look at this again. So if you dodge at the exact time that she starts screaming, you actually dodge out of this animation that will lock you into being like staggered, and you're actually able to do some stuff. So what I do here is I take some time to wail on her. I put the fire on my blade and I start wailing on her because I know that she's kind of disabled here. I try to stay behind her as much as I can, but then it's like, all right, time to get out of there. All right, as you can see right there, if I would have stayed there, this does damage. And you might think, okay, she's down. Yeah, let me go back in there. Let me run back in and get some more hits. No, because once she does this, she comes back up again. This does damage as well. So now, as she's at this point, this is the time you can wail on her. I like to save my fire blade and stuff like that for the end or the second half of bosses because it does more damage. And I only have one right now. But this is where you get in and you wail on her. So let's look at it. So you can just do as much damage as you can. Hit her up, hit her up, hit her up. Did significant damage. I actually applied some burn to her here, so that added a little bit more to it. Staggered her a little bit. One thing to pay attention to is that when you get her lower, right, she ramps up on her attacks. The attacks are still similar. They're just a lot faster and a lot more aggressive, but they're all still the same thing generally. So let's look at what she does. She caught me here, but it's all still the same stuff. Here comes the jump. The jump here, instead of it being like a quick one, it's extended. So you might have to let it breathe for a second and just wait it out. So you don't want to get too impatient and you don't want to just like start dashing all over the place because you might dash too early and still get hit. So you got to wait for her to come down. One thing that I notice about a lot of bosses in this game, from the ones that I've faced so far, when you get them low health, especially if they're about to be staggered, they really start to spam whatever moves that they're doing. They spam as much as they can because they don't want to get staggered and they don't want to get killed, obviously. So that's one thing to pay attention to. So you don't want to be overly aggressive with a lot of these bosses, like especially at the end when you're on like the last HP of that boss. You don't want to be overly aggressive and be like, all right, I got to finish this. I want to finish this, because they will catch you slipping somehow, some way. So be careful, be mindful, take your time, and you'll defeat the boss like we did here. And there we have it. That's how you face the Gluttonous Monstrosity. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if I helped you or not. Maybe I could have given you some more information, better information. Maybe I could have slowed it down a bit. Whatever it is, just let me know. But overall, thank you so much for chilling with me today. I really hope I was able to help. And also consider liking and subscribing if you're into WuChang Falling Feathers. This is what I do here. Outside of that, thanks so much. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.